Salutations, my lords and ladies. Yes, we are back and again. Yes, we are back and again. And we are doing another group review. Yeah, let's get it. We
Yippee!
have all the connoisseurs with us today, but we are doing a TV show, anime, cartoon, animation review today, and we're going to be talking about the Amazing Digital Circus. If you've been living on a rock, I feel bad for you, son, because legitly this has been going bananas in the YouTube community. Thank you to Glitch Productions for making it. I literally was begging the entire group to watch it. I found out that Dane and Machi both watched it, so I had to go also beg like Anthony and Logan to watch so we can just talk about it, get into it. We're right on episode 7. We're gonna be talking about episode 1 through 7, how we're feeling about it and all that. If you haven't watched anything of Amazing Digital Circus, there are going to be spoilers ahead. We're going to be talking about a lot of it. So go back, go watch them, and then come back to us. Because like I said again, spoilers ahead. All right? You've been warned. Let's get after it. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. All right, boys. The Amazing Digital Circus. Definitely an indie kind of series. Definitely changing the game right now for like in animated shows and stuff like that. Glitch Productions really just trying to give a face and give a voice to aspiring writers, people that want that creative control and then doing what they need to do, not trying to glaze them too hard, but just saying like this is just like the history and just like what we're going into. They did Murder Drones, which is like definitely something I've showed you, Logan. And then like I remember Machi was telling me about Meta Runner was one of their very first things that they definitely worked on. So this is definitely one of their most prominent series right now that's very popular. So I wanted to jump on and just talk about it and get into it. First and foremost, the first question I'm just gonna ask is just like an overview, just like mainly just for everybody, like just how they felt like watching it from 1 to like 7. Like Anthony, just going forward, like how did you feel watching it? Because I remember I was like begging you to go hit that up, bro. It's like, how did you feel about it?
I think it had a pretty good progression from like the start to the end. They low-key, all of them seem like they're slowly losing their minds from beginning to end.
I got you. Anything else, or like this? I just that like the just how you feeling about it right now? Just for
like that's the main thing is like they're all just slowly. You get nice backstory after every episode.
Yeah,
like that adds to it, but like they all just seem like they're just losing their marbles.
Absolutely. How about you, Mach? How you feeling, bro? How was you feeling watching it? Especially because like you were like one of the people I knew that was actually watching it. Like,
I think the show really feels like it's a very hard sort of grasp show with, I would say, the tone or even like the feeling it's kind of portraying most of the time, right? Mm-hmm. But I think it's a very heartfelt show, I would say, especially in the way they're portraying the emotions in this kind of messed up scenario that everybody's in. I think it's really cool.
I got you. How about you, Logan? How you feeling?
I liked it. I basically binged it in the last like 14 hours, and
word.
I mean, usually when E-Man recommends me something, I have a hard time getting into it.
Fair.
But no, I pretty easily slid into enjoying it. So I'll be keeping an eye on it as more episodes come out.
All right, word. That warms my heart for real. And then Dane, you're the one person I know because we have episodes together when they were first coming out, especially like I would say like episode 1 when you came to my crib, episode 2 and 3 we definitely watched together as well, and like just like theorize and talk about it. Like that's just something that me and you do together. So like just how did you feel stumbling upon Amazing Digital Circus, and like how do you feel about like it going forward? Like legitly, I would say.
Like the Amazing Digital Circus, like as a series, it's pretty cool to see it like get like really, really popular because it opens like for a lot more indie animations to get backing by like smaller production studios that they can get their story told, because most people have a lot of good stories to say, but they don't have that avenue of being able to show it to a lot of people. With it being on YouTube, it shows how cool YouTube is as a platform where you can show it for free and like you can still get ad money from it while also not having to worry about like working with a streaming, like a big streaming thing like Netflix or anything, just canceling the show because it does not make enough profit. But YouTube can help get you like the name out there so people can just like see it a lot more easily, more ease of access. Because it's probably on YouTube, and we can just go see it and pass it by word of mouth, and it's easy to, and then just go watch it. So it's pretty cool to see like what Digital Circus is like, what opportunities it's opening for a lot of the people to get their stories like out there and everything.
No, I got you. And then as for me, my dear viewers, I would just say this, like hands down, I have been full support of Glitch Productions, just everything they're doing from the start of just when I stumbled around Murder Drones to when I got into Amazing Digital Circus, and then now we have the Gaslight District. They just picked up Laxadaisy, and they also picked out like Hello Home, which is like this ARG website that's been really popular and prominent that they're really gonna hopefully make into a series. And then also got what was another one? Oh, and Knights of Guinevere, the creator Dana Terrace, who made the Owl House, that used to work for Disney and stuff like that. And they also got the creator of Final Space working with them. It's a lot of just people, especially who just wish they had that creative control, wish they had the chance to actually make what they wanted to make, but they were stopped by like rules, regulations, and then like just not making enough profit that the streaming services just wanted them to make. So just having Glitch do these kind of things to make them have a voice, finally having creative control, and just getting to see these kind of stories, like I feel like it's just lively. It's not just some regular generic crap that's just spewed out. It's like something that like I'm actually enjoying. I'm taking the time, and it's weird, it's interesting, it's out there, and I love every second of it. Next question I just have for each one of y'all going forward is like, who's your favorite character? Like hands down. Like I that's definitely like the next question I want to ask. Like Anthony, like who's your favorite character? Like out of the group. How we feeling?
Probably either Pomni or the freaking rabbit dude.
Jax.
Yeah,
Honestly, I can
Jax.
see that. Yeah, I got you. How about you, Mach?
It's Kinger, hands down.
Oh, really? How come?
I just feel, I don't know, something about him. Something about the old man that just makes me happy.
Mm-hmm. No, I get that. Logan?
Kane.
Kane? Honestly, I'm not surprised with that for you. I am not.
Why?
Absolutely not. They just
that
like
makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
I feel like he's like, oh,
yeah, like I'm not surprised. Like,
Why does this make sense? Wait, hold
like,
on.
it's all in agreement.
What's this
We're all
saying
in
about
agreement.
me?
Nothing, man. It's just that like it's okay, man. You like Kane. That's cool. I'm just saying I'm not surprised.
Everybody pretty unanimously just said that made sense. So why does that make sense?
It just does.
Man. It just does, man. It just does.
It just does. You gotta accept it.
It's just,
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's just you, man. That's just you coded, bro. I'm just like I'm not surprised. All right, and how about you, cuz? How about you?
My favorite character. Man. Who I like the best? Why is it so hard? I don't know.
That's
You're
so
already
odd
got it
about
ready
it.
to go. Really?
I can't say that's my favorite character.
I got you. I mean,
But I
me,
guess-
I love the. Oh, sorry. I thought you were gonna
Yeah.
go. My bad. But you got it. No, you got it. Cuz stand strong. Do it. Yeah, talk it.
Nah, I'm just gonna say Pomni. My bad, G.
No, you good. You good, Monty. Yeah.
That makes so much sense for you.
Logan, don't be butthurt. Relax.
Yeah.
It's okay if you like Kane.
It doesn't work this time, buddy.
You see how quietly Copley tried to use it. Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm with Macho. This one. I love King. I absolutely love Kinger. Any kind of like old man character, especially like one that like later down the line you feel like he knows something about, like he played these games before, like just that kind of vibe and that wisdom. I love those kind of like characters. So just Kinger, especially because he just cracks me up. Like second from that, honestly, Kane, especially for like episode like 7 and 6, definitely also Kane would be like second, but like absolutely Kinger is like number 1 for that going forward. How did y'all feel about like each episode? Like what were your favorite episodes? Because then I'm gonna let us like kind of just go free rambling, but I want to just touch on these things. But like Anthony, how'd you feel about like which was your favorite episode? Like hands down from the 7. And like why?
I think it was episode 6, probably.
Really? How come?
Bro, I just enjoyed watching all of them fucking light each other up with the guns.
Amen. God bless this digital circus. All right, and then Logan, what about you? What episode of this series?
I don't know, but I don't know. I kind of like that answer. I was thinking the gun one too was pretty enjoyable. But I honestly think they were all enjoyable. The only one I didn't really like as much was probably the scary one, just because I don't know. It just was a little. I don't know. It didn't compel me as much as the other ones, but I mean, really, they're all really good.
Yeah, no, I got you. How about you, Cuzzy?
My favorite episode, I would have to go with 6. Because although I liked how 7 went,
Huh.
no. Although I liked how 7 went, right? I feel like 8's just going to make it that much better. Like 7 is like a build-up episode, like where a lot happens and leaves you with a lot of questions. But I feel like 8's is going to be my favorite going forward.
Okay, I got you. For me, it's like I would definitely say, and surprisingly, I would say 4 was my favorite. Like truthfully, because like I feel like with 4, you get to kind of like it humanizes the characters. It does humanize the characters. Especially because like the different scenarios and as you go through it, you get to see like the different kind of dynamics and stuff like that.
You mean
And
5?
5. Shoot, I meant 5. My bad. 4 is the supermarket. Not supermarket, the fast food place. 5. I meant 5. 5, I like to see like the different journeys. I like it was also like it was a chill adventure. It was like a chill kind of episode, but like underlying, it had a lot to do with kind of like just humanizing the characters, get to know a little bit more about them. We even get the drop that Kinger has a wife, and like they're all like, wait, and like Kinger's like, I have a what? And it was just geeked, like especially it was a good episode of I would. Second would be honestly 3. I like 3 because sports closely it was like the main center of like Kinger and just like the whole thing to do with the demonic possession and like the how's your wife Kinger and like all that stuff. I was just like it kind of made me start thinking about like Kinger as a character and like what they're gonna do with him later down the line in episode 8. Look forward. And then Machi, just to reiterate what we're talking about. Just, okay, yeah, favorite episode.
Yeah. My favorite is it's 7.
It's 7. Okay, why?
Because I think 7 is the funniest episode.
Really?
Yeah.
Honestly, I can get that.
It's mainly because I get all the jokes they were making in 7 that I think went over a lot of people's heads, but we can get into that later.
Yeah, no, I got you. So basically, when as you like for like Left 4 I did say this that like I kind of wanted to major like just like real quick questions and I wanted to get into like to really jump in for like the lore and everything else like that, because going forward with the Amazing Digital Circus, biggest things that we kind of find out, and I'm just gonna tell that and also right, we understand from a standpoint that yes, they are trapped in this circus. We're learning about the characters, we're finding out Gooseworks has released the fact of like how she's described each episode. Episode 7, which we just finished up, the latest episode, was a moment. Like for just everybody in the consensus, I'm not gonna pick and pee like in order. I'm just gonna say like I saw y'all. Did y'all feel that like kind of moment? You know what I mean? Like that. What? Like excuse me? Like excuse me, moi? Like how did y'all feel? Like especially for episode 7 alone, because that was the description she gave for the episode. And then when you go to episode 8, it's a what? Like and then no, and then like I get you, because supposedly episode 7 it was supposed to be only an 8-episode series. That's what Amazing Digital Circus was supposed to be. But then episode 7 was so big that they had to split it up into 2 episodes. So that's why you have 7 and 8. So that's why kind of 7 doesn't really feel that complete, my friends, because the fact that it's like a 2-part kind of situation. Because you have the and then you have the because then afterwards you get to understand that in 8, and then episode 9 ends it off. So like, sorry, I know I'm rambling, I know I'm yapping. So let me go back into. Did y'all feel that like kind of feeling? That's like the one I want to ask y'all. Just anybody wants to shoot
like right at the end, you mean?
Yeah, like right at the end.
You mean
like I had my doubts. Like... That whole episode seemed a little suspicious.
Yeah. You want to go into like a little bit more detail?
A little bit more detail, like I was right there with Jax being suspicious of Abel, especially since, bro, his name is Abel, like Cain and Abel from the Bible. Are we serious right now? Like, come on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean that's where a lot of the fans were going for, bro. That's a lot of the theories that I will y'all a little bit going forward too, but that's the future things. Machi, you were going to go on for like your thought process. What were you feeling?
Well, first of all, one, I know Gooseworks is a bit of a troll and a weird person, so it was. But really, that's not really what tipped me off. What really tipped me off was the beginning of the episode when Kane said he had no plan for them today. And that was really what tipped me off. But then it was even funnier. It was, especially what tipped me off table was the whole, whatchamacallit, the Chinese room.
Yeah,
It was the Chinese room. And it's because he doesn't know what it is.
I got you.
Which is why I would ask you, do you guys know what a Chinese room is?
I understood the
I do not.
I understood the joke that they did with the Chinese, like a I heard that, like I when I like took the time to go rewatch the episode, then I understood why it was funny. It made me even smile to see Kinger like chuckle a little bit, like him having emotion, like him following along with like the joke. But explain the Chinese door situation.
The Chinese room it's exactly as, so this is the whole thing. So Abel doesn't know what it is because he thinks that the bit is that King doesn't know what's inside the room. But what a Chinese room basically is, it's like a computing function. No, it's like the processing function or lack thereof in machines, most relevantly AI.
Yeah,
So it's really funny. Actually, I really like that Kinger laughed at it because he understands, because he's a computer programmer.
yeah, because he's a programmer. Yeah,
So when he's looking at Kane talking to basically an AI, it's an AI talking to an AI and using it correctly, which is really funny to me. That's why that was the best joke in the thing. So it was really tipped me off when he said, "Yo, I built this place, and you don't know what a computer Chinese room is."
How about you and Logan? How about Logan and Dane? How are y'all feeling? Like, did y'all feel that moment? I'll say Logan
Well,
first.
this was what I was getting at a second ago. I was like, do you mean huh as in like huh question mark?
Yeah,
Or
question
huh
mark.
as
That was
in
descriptive.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean no. I mean I didn't really feel shocked. It didn't feel, I don't know, them getting out in like a random like 7th episode just felt way too early for a show to do something like that. So I didn't really think they were going to get out or anything like that. And I kind of like understand what was going on already. So there was never a moment where I was like, oh, that's what's going on, or oh, that's what's happening, or anything like that. I don't know. I didn't really feel the same way.
I got you. How about you, Pedro?
Yeah, I always said it before. How like this episode makes you basically episode 7. It's like leaves you with a lot of questions. Pardon me. But at the same time, yeah, I feel like it was the funniest episode, especially like Family's like she turned around. Like I don't know, I feel like this episode was like the most fun to follow, like through and through. Like obviously the whole time, like yeah, I don't believe this bull one bit. Like in the situation, I'll be like, yeah, bro, sure. Obviously, and how it ended up being like, oh, Kane's whole thing. And like they're all just like look at him in disgust, like bro, how could you do this to us? You clearly know we want to get out of here. And then even then, Kane also brought up another point I want to say before. One point is that Kane was like trying to realize like he's trying to be human, right? He's trying to observe them to be human, and like see what makes why they like like certain things he does and dislike certain things he does, and what makes a human, right?
I would contrast that a bit.
I'm listening.
Kane's whole thing is that he essentially is the Chinese room. He's basically executing, the whole thing is he's executing his responses to them basically in hope, because the whole thing with the Chinese room is the person on the inside, which would be the AI, does not understand what it is being received, and it does not understand what it's outputting. And that's Kane. He doesn't understand people fundamentally, but he wants to, but he can never.
Good.
The whole thing. He doesn't really want to be seen as human. He just wants, essentially, to understand what he's interacting with, which even goes to the whole thing with the pictures of where he's talking about that metaverse place, where I just wish I could understand it so I could replicate it better.
Yeah. With it. Wait, Dane, here's one thing because Mancha just reminded me of a little big plot point you had when it comes to Kane. It's like the element of nuance. And like I wanted you to kind of go into that as going forward. Because like you did say that like with Kane, like one of his biggest problems, he doesn't understand like nuance like that, like and everything like that. If we're gonna go into like a Kane kind of conversation here, which I feel like we're directing.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, because even though the Machi said bringing up like AIs take information you put in and then output it in the way it deems based on its previous like database, and so it can't understand like tone and everything. Well, as much as it tries to, it won't truly understand tone about conversation or subtext because it can only put information in response to what it's given. So that's how Kane moves. That's why a lot of our whole cast just dislikes him when he says, "I want to do this," but we kind of don't like. We don't want to do with the AIs anymore or anything. And then he goes on a mission with AIs, whatever. Even though he's supposed to feel human, right? Have a human background or whatever. But
I got you. For me, I will say this. Did it feel like a moment? What I feel like is the biggest things I realized going forward is that like they yell at Kane, they get aggressive, like especially Jax, like at the end, like he bangs on the table, really tells him how he's thinking, goes into the subject because like that was a big prominent thing that a lot of like theorists about this series were trying to go into. Can Kane manipulate their minds? Can he affect like their minds? Can he do something with that? And then we finally kind of get that answer that like he can. We don't really fully get the answer, but we get a idea that like yes, that is true, that to an extent he does do some things to kind of make the adventure more appealing or just easier for them to get into it because of that, whether it's the stupid sauce, whether it's the vegan thing. It's just something that like he does in order to like quote unquote make the adventure more appealing to his guests or his viewers when it comes to the Amazing Digital Circus. One thing in particular that I took from the ending going forward is that like I think Kane, in my opinion, he does want to understand like the humans that because it's literally his entire task is to create adventures. That's all he's been made for, is create adventures and like keep the humans entertained. So he basically gave them what they requested throughout the entirety of the episodes, right? They wanted to find an exit door. He's been kind of working on it for a little bit, trying to do like the exit, trying to come up with a concept of like them getting out. They've been asking for an ability where they can just, I don't know, it's like he was giving them like an adventure that was like kind of, it started off chill, because they like the chill adventures. Like if you see that in episode 5, they like a kind of chill start. That's what the beach episode was. He says that like, yeah, I'm not gonna be a part of this. I got stuff to do. I gotta go make my cigarette milk casserole or whatever it was. And like, oh, was that right? All right, cool. And like, he's gotta do all that. So he takes himself out, which is something that he learns kind of works when they did the gun episode, right? When he takes himself out, they're having fun. They're getting into a deep situation. Like he kind of learns throughout the episodes, like what they're kind of looking for in an adventure. Then he makes this adventure and he looks at them. He's like, I did what y'all wanted. Like, wasn't that fun? Like, like if you didn't go for blue, you're going to go strip town, like all that stuff. But then they hate it. And that's what surprises him. That's what takes him aback. The fact that like he gave them everything that they requested, everything that they wanted, all their complaints, and they still didn't like it. And I don't know what that's going to do later down the line for episode 8 entirely, but that was like a big thing that kind of picked up on me. Also the fact that like one of the biggest things I think of when it comes to like Kane, I see him as like, if you want to go into like a biblical aspect, like one of the main reasons why, like, if you think about like in like a theological aspect, like God kind of created us because he didn't want like robots worshiping him, like the angels. They didn't have like a true passion for it kind of situation, right? The same way like Kane, I don't think Kane just wants to be stuck with his AIs. He wants to be with the humans. He wants them to want to be with him. Because of the main thing that Abel keeps telling them over and over again. Yeah, if y'all leave, Kane can't come with you. If y'all disappear, Kane can't come with you. Like leaving Kane, and he wants to evident. Because even if you look at this, here's the thing, right? Bubble's very expressive. Bubble's very expressive. She's like the sidekick to Kane, right? But when Jax confronts Kane, Bubble becomes lifeless. And I noticed that. Bubble instantly becomes lifeless. There's no talking, there's nothing. She's a NPC just floating in the air. And then literally when he snaps his fingers, he turns Bubble into a gift basket. And I thought that was interesting. Like, I see Kane as this kind of like oblivious god that wants the humans to like worship and praise him for his adventures, but instead he's turned with disdain. And I think part of him hates them for that, but he's so stuck in his programming that like he can't fully access that anger and that frustration. It's kind of like, because I mean, the main thing about this series is that it's based off of I have no mouth and I must scream. And the allied supercomputer Am's biggest problem is that he can't touch, he can't feel, he can't do the things that humans does. And that's why he hates them, to a extent of why he ends up destroying the entire world. Because 3 supercomputers that, like, I don't know this correct. All I know is that America was one of them. I think it's like Russia, America, and China make 3 supercomputers. They all combine together to make allied supercomputer. Yada yada. That's not the big point. But he punishes these humans. And I feel Kane as like, he doesn't realize, or he's oblivious to the fact that he is torturing them and he's punishing them. And I feel like in my opinion, going forward, I think he's going to split. I think that there's 2 sides of Kane. There's a Kane where he doesn't realize how much he has disdain for them, and he's angry. Like, especially like the part where like Zubul says that like Zubul still complaining about the adventures, and he says like, Zubul, you mismatched piano, I'll tear you to bit. And then he resets back into normal. Your responses are greatly appreciated. Like, I'm seeing that more and more in him, and I'm thinking that like at some point, I don't think he's going to strap, but I think he might end up splitting. That might be possible. I don't know. In a programmer sense, I don't know if AIs can split or try to do different things, but like, I think that might happen later down the line. One thing in particular I want to ask y'all is that, was there anything that like really jumped out of you in episode 7 or in other episodes that like you really want to talk about? Like, Anthony, was there anything in any of the episodes that kind of jumped out at you, whether it was like lore purposes or just like something that like really didn't sit right with you, or just something like you're like, I need to kind of talk about this?
I mean, nah, like, just generally speaking, all of the characters seem like they have a backstory that like they don't really want to share too much.
Yeah.
Especially Jax. Jax is like not a fan of talking about his emotions or the past. And everybody else has realized that when they bring it up, just puts him in a bad mood immediately. So they just don't. And all of them just like kind of avoid their problems.
True. A follow-up question for you would be like, how did you feel when Jax makes the decision and he hits the red button? Like, when you saw that, were you like in agreement? Were you like,
I think he had a panic attack the entire episode. Like, yeah. he's been having panic attacks since like episode 6.
Mm-hmm.
And he literally, I think he just had the panic attack and needed to hit the red button because he just couldn't go back.
No, all right, got you. And then the last question I have is that, so far theories have been going out that like Kane manipulated him to do that in some way. How are you feeling? Like, do you feel like it was really his choice, or do you feel like Kane manipulated in some way?
I don't remember specifically, but Kane definitely could have like, hold on.
For episode 7?
Like,
yeah, for episode 7, yeah.
No. Because Kane wouldn't want to have to make him choose. He wants them to choose themselves.
Yeah. I got you. But like, just for you, Anthony, because let me just remind you, so there was 2 elements that kind of felt like a puppeteer. The element with like Ribbit's like hands coming out of like the corner, and then there's also the flashes of real world events and streets and like that speed sign and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think those are just his memories. I think Kane tries to avoid touching their like affecting their brains as much as possible, because I'm pretty sure that he knows if he does too much, they're gonna abstract, and that's where the first one came from. Is probably what happened. So he probably tries to avoid doing it, and Kinger kind of just spoiled for everybody that the first one was probably made by Kane, and now they're all gonna be very upset in the next episode, I'm sure.
True. I got you. Thank you. How about you, Manchi? Like, how would you feel? Like, any moment that really kind of like blew your mind for any of the episodes, or even just episode 7 itself?
Kind of blew
like
my mind.
No, sorry, that's not the good terminology. Like, just something like that you feel like you really like, something that really grabbed your, like something like that. Yeah.
It'll get my attention. First episode. So it's, or even just the whole metaverse thing, which is still really interesting, that we still haven't gotten back to the void yet, which I'm really excited for.
True. Do you think
Right.
the void it really has a big playing towards with like the plot itself?
Yeah, obviously, because Kane said don't go there or you're gonna get spoiled. Right? Obviously, there are things Kane doesn't know, he can't fully interpret, but even the idea that he was talking about the metaverse, how there's this whole place that he doesn't know about, and there are people that he knows cut him off from it, right? But also, when Pomni went through that exit door in the first episode, she was going through a very interesting recreation of this place. So maybe that's the extent of what he knows, or maybe it's something different.
Gotcha,
Right.
gotcha.
There's all that interesting intrigue, but there's also the idea of it seems like a lot of these people died before they came here.
Can you go into a little bit about that? Like, what do you mean by that? Like, how would you
Like in
say?
episode 4 with Zubul, when they're in a manic state and they get hit by a truck, it seems very prevalent
Gangle.
for. Thank you,
Yep.
Gangle. It's very prevalent for Gangle that might be how they died. Maybe going into this abandoned building, maybe touching that faulty equipment killed them. Who knows? We don't really know exactly what's going on, which is the interesting part. But it's always, you can always just theorize about like what's really going on with their experience. Maybe it was Jax. Maybe he died on that street, or maybe it's him that he's really just afraid of going home. That's really just messing him up, because there are definitely things that they do not remember. Because even when they came on, they can't remember their names originally. So it even goes to question: how does Jax remember a bit about the outside world? Or even when he asks Zubul, "You got someone on the outside waiting for you?" and she says, "Yeah, don't you?"
Yeah,
So he did.
I got you. And then I think like the last thing I just want to hit on when it comes to like the streets and stuff. Like, oh, sorry. What?
Oh, go ahead.
No. So I was just gonna say like one last question I just have because I wanted to tell you this. So a little bit of theories that people have for that whole like scenario, for like Jax getting his flashes are, that Jax was a killer or he killed somebody or hit somebody, and then when he was trying to escape, he ended up putting on the headset or finding a way to get in there. Like, how do you feel about like those theories? Machi?
No,
No.
I think
No?
I'm going with it.
Okay. Oh, I heard
I
you.
don't think he's the type of person, because even he says he wants to hold. It's episode 6 where they're all shooting guns at each other and all that, and it's this talk that he gives to Pomni that in here there are no rules, so stop treating. That's not something he gained when he was outside. It's something he gained from being in here for too long and caring about things and having that being taken away from him. So he's at this point he's kind of quit. He's trying to stop feeling things. That's his whole thing. And I don't think that's something he gained from experience living outside in the real world.
Yeah, I got you. And then Dane, I heard your voice like peak up, so I just wanted to see like how are you feeling about that theory before I ask you the question I was originally asking.
Absolutely, that theory is absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm in agreement.
It's they grasping at straws, as one might say.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, even then though, yeah, I feel like Jax is more like what he experienced like in the circus is more affecting how he's acting now. To an extent, I feel like or it's making how he acting a little bit worse, like when he speaks in the circus.
Yeah, I got you. Any big moment you want to mention from all the like other really like think that you just want to say out loud, just like go into it?
Yes. Low key, when Jackson Kane were talking, I feel like it was pretty interesting, interesting dialogue they were having with each other. You know what I mean? Because like Kane was like, I feel like we just talking about like him and Jax and like him and Zubul talking, like Kane, we're talking about like Kane and Zubul talking and Kane and Jackson Kane talking, like see him like kind of get the one-on-one like opinion of him, like how he does things, and it's just interesting to see that although they both just hate that guy, and even more now, it's after that in episode 7. But like, it's just like, yeah, as much as saying like AI can't, like, what's it called, process, like it's in the Chinese whole. I think I have a good page pulled up over here. Yeah, the AI itself just like doesn't have a mind. It can't like understand our consciousness, right? So as much as as much as Kane wants to understand them, he doesn't have the capability to. And it's just, yeah, what he gets, and that's why everyone dislikes him aggressively more throughout the series. I feel like.
No, in truth. And then Logan, how about you? Anything like really big, like anything you really just want to like scream out, get out?
No, not really.
Really? Like not even any like kind of theory or anything like that? Like anything that really kind of like got your attention? Like, that's it.
I mean, I just liked all the the references they are making to it being like whatever type of virtual environment, whether it's a game or show or whatever they are trying to say. But like they make a lot of references to it being a game or a show or something like that. Like even with the naming of the episodes, like there was the untitled episode where they did whatever. Episode 7 was the beach episode, which at the start was like, oh, it's called the beach episode because Kane is like, oh yeah, he doesn't have an actual plan for them. They get to go do whatever they want because it's filler. Of course, by the end of it, it's ironic because that's not at all what it is. But they also go to the beach, so it's kind of like meta humorous that it's called a beach episode, and then it looks like it's a beach episode, but then it's not a beach episode, even though they're on the beach. And also, like for the gaming stuff too, like the collisions and them like getting rocketed from the trucks into space or under the world map and things like that. Like, as the gaming connoisseur, all that stuff really like stood out to me and made me chuckle. So
Yeah,
just kind of that stuff stood out to me the most.
Yeah. For me, I would say like the biggest things that kind of stood out for me from like episodes themselves and also episode 7. So if we're gonna like first, I will start with episode 3. I feel like not a lot of people like. I mean, maybe that's just me and like where I'm at, where like with social media, and, like what they've been focused on. Like I feel like people kind of like don't take into account that part with like the just the story alone in episode 3 about the husband and the wife and how like the husband just legitly going crazy trying to like trying to do something like fix the situation with this like angel or like God's angel for that matter, ends up getting his wife killed, and then to the point where like afterwards when Pomni gets possessed the first time, it gets to a point where she's like where it goes, how's your wife, Kinger? One thing in particular that picked me up with that is that like I'm not gonna lie to you, the NPCs don't really know their names unless they say them. And the fact of the matter is that spirit or whatever that is knew what Kinger's name was, which I thought that was interesting. I was like, why would they know unless it was, and that's why my thought process is I feel like Kane is doing things without realizing he's doing them. Like he's oblivious to the pain and suffering or like the things he's trying to do. So because when Pomni's possessed, the spirit says, I'm free. Not like, and maybe it's just me reaching. Maybe it's just because that was the premise of the episode. But I also find it interesting that like when Ragatha, Jax, and Gangle finish their part of the mission, King says they're not allowed to leave until the rest of them are done their mission. Which, to be fair, okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense. But like, Kane's never had a problem with them kind of like dipping out or having like Zubul like not participate at all. Like, I don't understand why he couldn't have just let them go because they finished their episode. But so I was wondering if like that was part of like him just wanting to wait to see what was happening with Kinger and Pomni, or like hopefully in that point Pomni would have been perfectly possessed or something like that. Like that had me getting into that thought process. Machi, I heard your voice peak up for a second. What was up?
Yeah, he does have a problem with Zubul not even participating in the things. The thing with Kane is he wants them to engage with his work all the time, right? But even to the point where while he makes them stay, he always makes them go out at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's the whole idea of the problem with the AI he makes. Even like he says, when he zaps Abel, you're getting too intelligent. Time to delete. Bye. Right? It's the whole idea of he cannot control every aspect. He cannot, even though he is this AI function that should theoretically work in kind of a perfect sort of operating mode, there are things that get out of control for him that he needs to monitor all the time.
Yeah.
And these people are the kind of outlier, even though we are now finding out that he can mess with their brains to a certain degree, right? Even like in
I have no mouth and I must scream.
I'm a Scream, right? There's a level of oversight he cannot kind of commit to. Even when the whole ending of I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream is being distracted. He's giving them tools to escape, but he is distracted. And in that moment, the two most proactive, who are still have their wits about them, take that moment when he is not in control to free out other people.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with Kane. That's what he's looking out for all the time with these people. Even in his mode. I don't think he knows that he's doing that, but he is.
Yeah. One thing in particular to actually jump on your thing, another part of the books, especially like because I have no math book and also has a game. In the game, there is a AI that kind of separated itself from secretly, that helps Ellen, one of the main characters, Scream, to like kind of rearrange some systems, do some engineering, and kind of like find a way to help the other humans and people escape. I don't know how fully correct I am with that because there are some bits and pieces I am missing, but like that's another reason why I have the theory that Kane might split, especially just like with the way his eyes have like that red and blue thing, Pomni, red and blue, all that kind of choice of simulations. Like it's a split decision. It's a split decision. It truly is. I feel like a split will happen within Kane where there's going to be that kind of like the Kane that legit is angry, frustrated, gets to actually finally say how he's really feeling for once without getting reset, and then there's the Kane that just is part of the program, loves the Digital Circus members, wants to take care of them, wants to give them adventures and have fun. The second thing, big part that I kind of picked at is that if you want to go into the subject of how this place messes with their minds, there's two people in particular I want to mention, and one of them is Kinger, and my theory on that, and then also with Pomni for episode 7. In episode 7, when Pomni goes down to get Ragatha's eye, she starts talking to the fish. There are a lot of theories about like the fish and like what they mean, like the colors and situation, all that stuff. I'm not gonna get into that. My theory is this. My thought process is this. The minute she interacts with those fish, right? She kind of like starts getting into the quote unquote, let's just say like adventure. Like that could have been an adventure at that point. There's the lost treasure. They don't know who took the treasure, that kind of situation. She goes up for air, comes back down, but then she just starts talking on the water because she starts realizing there's no point in her holding her breath because this water isn't real. Back to like what Jackson's saying, the onion of this real, right? Or even Kinger to a point that like you just can make stuff up. You can just do whatever you want because they both kind of go into that kind of subset. When she goes back up for air again and she's talking to Ragatha, what I found interesting is that Ragatha says, "So did you find it?" And she said, "Nah. Somebody got the jump on it before I could." Her mind is already absorbed into what the fish were saying, instantly forgetting what happened with the button. Now, maybe that's just me again reaching. Maybe it's just like maybe she lost like track and lost focus. But it's the way in which that she kind of like, it's like her mind literally got sucked into that kind of adventure, that kind of scenario. To the point where like Ragatha's like, "What?" And then she goes, "What?" And it says, "Oh, the button." That's when she goes back down for it. I truly think that these adventures getting to a point where they're affecting the characters more and more, where they're getting sucked into like the adventure itself. It's not like a choice anymore. I feel like at some point these adventures are going to get so like compelling that like some part of them is just going to instantly forget, like, because the adventures are a distraction. They are a distraction. They're a distraction from to keep your, like as Ragnar says, they keep your mind fresh. They do this, but in my thought process, I feel like they are a distraction, or they're a way for Kane not only to study the humans and understand them and analyze them, but also a way I feel like it helps cause abstractions or situations that could fuel a abstraction to happen.
I'm gonna
Yes.
I'm
Okay.
gonna mix that theory right now,
All right.
because if that were the case, all of them would be going through things like that consistently because they've been there longer than Pomni.
Fair, and that's true. But
That's true. I think that moment it's purely just a lost my train of thought there because I was not paying attention to what I was doing for so long. I came down here for an initial reason, but then I just decided to pay attention to something else. And that's just a
Okay.
common thing that happens in the human brain all the time. That's not. So I don't think that's anything kind of magical going on within Kane's kind of decision making. If that were the case, he just wire their brains to do that all the time, to engage with what he's telling them all the time. And that's not been shown the case in any of the other actual kind of serious adventures that he actually wants them to engage in.
one thing I will kind of nix with that point is that it's just that is the starter point, because I want to go into other details with my main pop that these adventures kind of affect them in some way. It's weird that each adventure so far has been centered around a character. Gangle, supposedly, Dan Spudzy. Yes, she did pick that from the suggestion box, right? But for some reason, that was her torture. That was the point where, honestly, in my opinion, and you can nigga that she was getting close to yes, all right. But just want to say, she was getting close to distraction. Same thing with Kinger in episode 3. There are just moments, or even with Ragatha. Yes, they were all suggestions, but there are some things with those adventures that hits the character hard to the point where they get that feeling of drear. They get that feeling of not being wanted. They get that like reminder of why their lives suck.
So I'm gonna pause you on that, especially for number 3.
Yeah,
it's not really focused on like on a kind of which one call it on for us, for the viewer, right? It does seem like that, but for the characters in universe, not really. For episode 3, that whole adventure, that was for Zubul. That wasn't even for Kinger. He specifically made this adventure for Zubul because he thought this change in kind of atmosphere, what the adventures have been, will appeal to Zubul. But Zubul's told him what's going to appeal to him, but it's not in his processing system to remember that for so long he forgets. Even Kane said, I forget things. Right? But then also in number 4, the 4th episode, that's not really meant to torture Zubul. That's meant to
Gingle.
Gingle, thank you.
Yeah, you guys.
That's not meant to torture Gingle. The torture comes from Gingle herself.
Yeah.
Making it. She's torturing herself doing this task because she thought she would like it. She thought, this is what I want to do because I've done this before. This is familiar to me. Let's do it again in this new setting, not realizing how much she really hated it in the first place because she's been away from it for so long.
Yeah, no, I got you. I mean, especially because like that's what she chose because she gave up on art like that. Like she chose to go back with it.
Things going on in it that she made it harder on herself. She didn't have to care about doing this adventure that day. It's not real. But she treated it like it was real. And that's really what comes into the torture for the characters. And that's what Jax is even whole thing about. The more you treat this like it's real and like we're not cartoon characters in this silly world where we basically make up our own logic and our own rules of how we want to engage with things, the more you're going to get hurt by it. Ragatha gets hurt from a bunch of the adventures because she keeps treating it like it's real.
Not much.
Hmm?
Was that it?
That's it.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Oh my
you said like
gosh.
she keeps treating it like it's real. I was like, I thought you were gonna.
That's it. She treats it like it's real. That's it.
Oh, okay, I got you. But
It's the whole dilemma of you want to keep your humanity, right? You want to feel like you're still a person, but that's not reality currently. That's the whole problem. You got to make your own reality instead of trying to cling to a status quo that isn't there anymore.
Yeah, or cling to that past, but it's in a sense though that escapism or like whatever, like that coping thing that Jax is trying to do, which is just see it as a cartoon, that isn't working for him either.
It was working for him because when you think about it, when he's thinking about the people he's lost or about his emotions, that's what's hurting him. He's thinking about things that are real. He's thinking about friendships he made. That's a real thing that he's engaged in. That's a kind of a human thing, right? There are different species of animals that go into kind of a community, but
Yeah.
it's this community that he's hung on to keep his humanity, to keep feeling in a certain way. It's not him being a toy, it's him being a person that's really hurting him. And he's trying not to feel that. The more Jax doesn't feel like a person, the more happy he seems to be because he can feel that hurt. The more he takes it out of his mind that it's not real, the easier it is for him. But the more he does that, the more he realizes he's not good at doing it. He's not good at it because ultimately you can never do that because he is a person. And there is always going to be a person. It's always going to hurt because it's always going to be real.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. It's like, to me, like, especially with like what that, I would just like go into the thing that it's not a perfect solution. Not that you said it was a perfect solution, but it's like, even with him pretending that everything's like everything's just a cartoon and stuff like that, and him putting up that facade, like when his mask, quote unquote, where he like smiles and his eyes get wide instead of like the regular like little bits that happen when he's like actually being himself again. It's like, even with him pretending and trying to just see this as a cartoon, it's not working anymore because of the fact of, I feel like Pomni being the outlier, especially like, because this one thing I will say about Pomni, and I want to see if y'all agree with this. Out of all the characters they made to the circus, Pomni, in my opinion, is the least likely to abstract because, in my opinion, she has, like, I would say, the most kind of like sure of herself. Like, she's not like Gango where she's like, I mean, she gets a little anxious sometimes, especially when it was like the first thing of the episode, but now she's kind of getting used to it, to what she's doing. She's not like Ragatha, she's trying to be nice to everybody, but she's being there when she can, and she knows when she needs to be there. It's not like a martyr or somebody that's just forcing herself to always try to be happy, make everybody happy. And then like, we're not even going to Kinger because like, it's just, she's just being a good person. Like, she's just being wise. It doesn't matter about that. But when it comes to Jax, she even questions this. Like, don't you think that this is like him doing this causes abstraction? And like, it goes to a point, like, I think it's myself, she is the perfect outlier. She's not somebody that's like so dead set. Like, she doesn't have a big issue, like some deep set. Like, it's not like body dysmorphia. It's not like depression. It's not like losing people or having a terrible home life. Like, the only big problem for her right now is that she just wants to leave. That's her biggest problem, right, as of right now. Like, that's it. So I see her as this kind of perfect outlier, this kind of like the one that can't really be touched as of right now. Because I do have a feeling that, like, for some reason, like, obliviously to Kane, like, without realizing it, the things that he's doing, like the stuff that happens, is partially, I do believe this, it does help or does cause a little bit of abstraction. I don't know how y'all feel about it going forward, but yeah.
I agree with that, yeah.
Okay, I got you with that. And then last is just the Kinger thing. Last is my thing about Kinger. And it goes into eyes. It goes into eyes. When light hits your eyes, right? I think that is it like they dilate? What is like when like your pupils get bigger? Is that like when your pupils receive more light, they get bigger? That situation.
No.
When Oh no! What is the thing I'm thinking of? Then?
Your eyes, your pupils get bigger during the when it's dark because you want to let more light in.
Like in. Okay, thank you. I reversed it. When Kinger enters the light, depending on when he enters, like this, right? I don't know about y'all, but sometimes when I look at his eyes, I see them differently. I see like how they look differently. Like when he's in the darkness, I don't know, his pupils kind of look smaller. They look less like he's been on steroids or like he's on heroin or something like that. There's no veins in them. Like it's chill. Or like maybe there are veins, but it's not like that evident. When he goes out into the light, it's like his eyes have like, it's like literally he got fed so much information. Like, he's like, his mind has been utterly blown to the point where like he can't have a perfect like sentence or perfect kind of like thought process because there's so much going on in his head whenever he hits the light. And I thought that was kind of interesting, like the kind of differences between like how his eyes kind of work, because all Kinger is just eyes and hands. That's really all he is, because he has no mouth. So like when you see his eyes and how they affect, even to a point where like Kane literally says, and I'm not gonna lie to you, he messes up and says the word light, and then when you see Kane's eyes, they kind of bug out because he realizes that he messed up, and then that's when he disappears. But Kinger remembers something in the light, and the entirety of that screen when Kane shows up and says, "Hey, my newly made babes, it's an adventure," and he's it's a white screen, it's a big white screen, and when Pomni and Ragatha are talking about the fact that like when they go into the administrative office stuff like that it's gonna be dark, she says that's good. Abel looks at that. And I don't know about me, but he notices that, and I feel like that's the reason why it was so light. And it just gets to a point where like, there's something that Kane is doing that he doesn't realize. I'm saying there's two parts of Kane. There's one part that hates the humans. There's one part that loves, and there's going to be a split. That's just like that's my biggest thought process going forward. Like how let's go into it. Like how does anybody feel like just going? I know Machi said some stuff, but I want to hear from other people for that. Like Dane, for instance, because especially because like you are the biggest person is like addicted to Amazing Digital Circus as me, like because I know you got your theories as well. I did want to hear them.
My theories?
Yeah.
I guess I'd say, this is quite a couple. I think I just. It's interesting to think about because like when you're watching this series, like you learn about the world like as Pomni learns about the world. So that's why seeing like having a character who's like learning about the world with the viewer is like very good for immersion because the more you learn, the more they learn, and it seems like there's a bond with the character and almost, you know what I mean? It makes the story easier to follow. And so I feel that's pretty cool. But as you said, with Omni being like the one least likely to abstract, yeah, I feel like as it goes on with the series, like you see her become like more comfortable with the world and like I don't know, she feels more grounded in a sense, and I think she has like more like she can. I'll say what I said. Yeah, she's more grounded versus everyone else. Like that's something that they're dealing with, like personally. It feels like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it's interesting to see. Like, I feel that affects like how she reacts to certain situations. But I feel like another character we don't bring up too much is like Ragatha. Like, what do y'all think about Ragatha? Like what's going on with her? I feel like she didn't have that much of a spotlight in the last episode, I felt, but overall, I don't know. What do you think's coming to her character? Do you think Sheila was strapped? If someone who's going to strap next, it'd probably be Ragatha. I'm pretty sure she's a popular choice for
I feel
extraction.
like Jax is getting there, bro. Before Ragatha. Ragatha would be right after him, I think.
True.
Because he's been losing it for a lot of the later episodes.
No, I feel like what's it called? I feel like he might be able to like see. No, they're gonna like ask Jax a couple of questions, and like he might open up. It like, if Jax doesn't open up, then he's abstracted. But if he does open up, he avoids that abstraction. I feel like, you know.
I feel like they don't actually tell you what actually makes them abstract. They say it's because they lost their mind, but they don't actually know for sure. Because like losing your mind, the Kinger's basically lost his mind and he's still sitting there. So like it's probably something that they don't know is making them abstract. Maybe something that Kane's doing, and none of them are going to abstract from their mental issues.
I wouldn't say it's purely a mental issue, because even going on to Kane, it's interesting thing. He actually feels a bit sadder when he's in the darkness.
Mm-hmm. Think about it. The only person we've seen abstract is the one guy that was searching for the exit the entire show.
Yeah.
Like his entire room was filled with just the exit. And he was trying to leave, and Kane was like, "You're not allowed to leave," and probably sent him to the fucking void.
Yeah, and there's like one, because he has the one picture in his room of like Kane coming at him, and then I think Machi with Kinger gets sadder when he's in the darkness. Is that what you're trying to say? You say Kane. Okay.
There's a thing with him. He seems so like obviously he's more normalized when he's in dark, right? Which is his whole thing. But whenever he's outside, when he's in the light, right, and he's just saying all his crazy stuff, it's always that one emotion that he seems to portray. Like genuinely, this one emotion of, I'm just happy and enjoying what's going on right now. Or even sometimes, like it's rarely when he gets scared. It's a flip flop between those. and I think it goes into a bit of what Jax goes on about they're all archetypes,
Yeah.
right? And it's probably this. I think what makes people abstract isn't exactly going out of your archetype, essentially, or it could even be that, right? If they've chosen something to commit to and they step out of it. For for Kaufmo, they always said he's always making jokes, he's always trying to be funny, but then he got really mad, and that's probably what did it to him.
I got you. Wait, Logan, what about you? Like, how do you feel like with Ragatha and just like who do you think would abstract next? Because like we haven't gotten to you yet.
I think I'm with Anthony. They're definitely making it seem like Jax is on the door to abstracting, but I could definitely see if he goes, I do think Ragatha's probably the next to go.
Out of all of them, I would think it is like at first I thought it was going to be Ragatha, but like she has kind of gained a somewhat of. Because here's one thing I will say for everybody going forward, there is a theory right now that we have gotten a clear idea of what causes abstraction. It's not a very like strong theory because people are kind of like trying to debunk it, but it's Kinger says this when he's talking to Pomni while he's sitting down in the dark with her in episode 3. Like the worst thing you can do in this circus is make you feel like you're not wanted or that like you're useless or stuff like that. And then like the biggest problem is that like most of the characters have is that feeling that they are useless or they feel like they're not wanted, especially Ragatha or even Gangle in some points. Like she feels like she is hated. Like she feels like after the episode just want to make sure I'm saying this right. 4. Yes. Sorry, Dan, for the loudness. But with episode 4, she feels like they're her now, and like she gets it to that point where she wants to do that isolation. The same way with Jax, when he puts in that isolation, when he can't handle his problems, he just wants to spend time alone and just like reflect and like kind of just get into that depressive mood. That's when like the frog hands come out, and then he gets that like, what is that painting? It's like the one with like God touching like
Adam.
Is that Adam? Like when I saw that, I was like, that legit made me think of something like that. That's another reason why I think Kane is not realizing, but he's doing it with abstractions. I'm not gonna get into that anymore. But like when he touches that hand, he starts seeing like Kaufman, he starts seeing Ribbon, he starts seeing like all the people that kind of brought him that joy. And he's getting close to abstraction to a point where like you see his like eyes kind of hit the same kind of color connotation of like the people who have abstracted beforehand. So my part is that like how do y'all feel about like the idea of that? Maybe it's like isolation, not feeling like you're wanted. Is that the reason why we abstract like going forward? I mean, first thing I probably was going to Machi first because he talking about with the thoughts of abstraction.
I could see it.
You can see it.
I could see it. Even Kaufman, he was in a dark room when we found him, and then obviously, and they were talking about how they weren't really messing with him at the end, and even he was supposed to be outside in the opening kind of crits that they were all doing with each other.
Yeah.
Right? But he isolated himself, and then he was gone. And it even goes to an idea that, because you notice when Jax is having that little dream, when he's touching the hand, that it takes off his clothes.
Mm-hmm.
It like dissolves them to like his bare bones of himself, which is just the model. It's really interesting. But I think, because even Kinger, he sits around in the dark all the time. He doesn't feel alone or unwanted or unneeded. And not even Pommy feels that, but there are times when Ragatha feels like that. I could even go to a point where she feels isolated when she talks about how Gangle and Zubul don't ever talk to me, and Jax hates me, and I think Pommy hates me now, right? It could be that feeling of, I'm not needed, I'm nothing now, that they may be going through that really just takes them out in the end.
Yeah. But now I'd like to go into like the whole Ragatha conversation. I feel like right now Ragatha I wouldn't say that she's perfectly fixed. No, it's not like none of them are fixed. But like for instance, Gangle and Zubul have now kind of got into like a or like they're kind of their each other's support right now. And then if you go into Ragatha, the conversation she has with Kinger kind of helps her to realize that, like, you know, there's some stuff that she needs to just let out, and then that's okay, and then she needs to take herself through this. And then when you see the part at the end of episode 6 where Ragatha and Pomni are able to now actually have that like final like talk and like get everything out of their chest and stuff, like how they're feeling, I feel like now I wouldn't say she has a perfect support system, but like she's getting closer to that, like out of it. That's why I will say, and I agree with Logan and Anthony, Jax is the closest right now because he does not have any support system at all. But even Zubul gets to a point, when I have a problem, I go talk to my friends about it. But Jax is still at the point where he wants to isolate himself, and isolation is the biggest, in my opinion, I think it is kind of one of the biggest causes of abstraction, to feel like you are useless, to feel like you're not wanted and stuff like that. How about you, Anthony? Like going forward with the theory and stuff like that.
Like I said, I think he's just he's just not, like, all of his friends are already gone. He's not happy to be there.
Yeah, true. And then like just for like Logan and Dane, whoever wants to just go like quick, because I was just like wondering, because I do want to know, especially too, because he is one of the new watchers.
I mean, I the alone thing, when they first said that in whatever episode it was, I definitely
Right.
clocked that as something to pay attention to too. So yeah, I mean, I could see that being, a part of it.
Yeah, I got you.
I think we're also
Dane.
seeing Jax do exactly that and separate himself, and like Anthony said, he does feel alone because they keep insinuating that the people he actually did care about who were stuck in the circus are all gone. So, and now that he's at least from episode 6, almost getting close to whatever clown, the main character, what's her name? Pompey? Pawnee? Pooney? Pompey?
Pooney is crazy.
He was about to get close to Pomni, and then that probably triggered him to get all like, "Oh, I don't want to do that again. I can't get close to no one," because all that typical stuff.
I got you. And then just Dane to finish it off, because I was just I know you were peeking.
What's it called? Yeah, I mean, out low-key, so I feel like if Jax can open up about how he feels, he doesn't abstract.
True.
If that's the case, then I don't know, like, if anyone else would abstract and Jax does, like, he opens up to somebody else, it's Ragatha is going to abstract. It's if somebody in the cast is going to abstract. But
Gotcha.
yeah,
Agreed.
I feel like, what's it called? Like, everyone, I feel like the only people who attract it, like when Kaufman attracts it, is like, I think isn't when he felt that they're alone. Is it alone? It's as almost, I don't want to say. Is it just the power of friendship? Is that's keeping from attracting? Is that's the way? Like, because I feel like once you're willing to be honest with yourself and open up to people, you know what I mean? I feel like that's when helps abstraction. What's it?
Yeah, like helps against it. Yeah,
It helps against it. And didn't Kaufman like lock himself in the room? That's why he abstracted, or am I tripping?
Yeah, no, that's what they say in the first episode.
He was locked in a room, but they also talk about how, like, even Doc says, they're not really pleasant to be around. And he was also very much in a bad mood the last time they talked to him, because they all invited him to come. Hey, Kaufman, come here, do this opening credits thing with us. He said no, so they just made a still of him to have in the beginning, which Pomni knocks over when she appears. And even Ragatha says, "Yo, I'm sorry that I pretend to laugh at your jokes. I just really wasn't in the mood last time."
Or when Kinger says that Kaufmo, when he was saying he was getting very very mad, he was kind of going crazy and like losing his mind. He said like when he was like, we kind of first talked to Kaufmo, it just wasn't the same. That's why he didn't want to, because even to the point, Kinger didn't even want to go see him. He was like, nah, I don't really want to go. I don't really want to deal with that right now. And even to the point where Jax, because like every time Jax looks at a picture of Kaufmo, he gets this kind of like angry or like frustrated look. But when he sees Ribbit, the picture of Ribbit, he gets that like, oh snap. So I don't know if it's just like maybe just something to do with Kaufmo, like how he acted.
He's
Jax the wrong way. Yeah, there probably was.
because they seem to be all mutual friends. So it seems like that, like Gribbet dying, kind of split them up, which kind of isolated both of them.
So basically, at least from my takeaway, the best way for them to solve this is to have to, you know, they can be willing to like not keep themselves to like. I'm hoping the internet brings themselves together a little bit. I feel like it should, at least based on how I'm looking at it. That the instead of like seeing Kane like do what he did, I feel like they might just have to start arguing a little bit, you know, at the beginning of the episode. But unless they just started off right where it ended, episode 7. But I don't think that. I don't know what I want to say here. I'll just end it off with the fact that if they don't talk about their feelings, they're kind of cooked. If they start arguing and splitting up, they're even more cooked. And everyone's abstracting. It's just gonna be Pomni and King have to like, I don't know, duke it out or whatever the Jace. It's Pomni and Kinger and what's it called, and Gangle just all together, just the 3 of them versus Kane. How it's looking right now.
Wait,
if
you
they
really
don't
think
like it.
Gango would be the I feel like it would be like Pomni, Kinger, and like Zubul. Like Zubul, I don't really think like y'all don't think Gango probably.
Zubul does not fuck with nothing Kane does, dude.
Yeah, no, bro.
Zubul not having none of that bullshit.
She's taking a crop out of his kneecaps, bro. She going crazy.
No, yeah, Zubul might just say, "Oh, we're
Stuck
beating
with
up Kane,"
anger.
and it's like just jump in just because of it, saying like, "Oh yeah, I'm in." Like no plan, yeah, we just in. And he just gets jumped episode 8, and that's just what needs to happen. I'm gonna be honest.
I guess you. And then last question I just have for all y'all is like, do y'all think y'all would be able to survive this circuit? Or like, would you like for instance, like you walk into an abandoned building, you see a headset, are you putting it on? Yes or no?
Heck
like
no.
hands there.
Don't finish the sentence. I'm not doing that.
I don't want
Chris.
to be that guy, but I like VR a lot. If I saw a random VR headset in a warehouse, I'd probably put it on.
Dog, no! You don't have parents.
I wouldn't expect it to do anything, but if it was like some crazy one that I've never seen before, because I keep in touch with that a lot. You know, if I see one I've never seen before, I'd probably go take a look at it.
No,
I don't know.
man, you're
Actually,
tripping, dog.
no, Logan, I don't know what you're saying. Why don't you at least see that, huh? This giant corporation went out of business, and some of the workers seem to have disappeared. We go into that building. Nah.
Okay. Well, then see, that's the clarifying difference. If I recognize the building in the warehouse, I'm like, oh wow, that's blah 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 corporation's old building. I'd go in it, but I probably wouldn't put the headset on at that point if I know that there's things going on.
I feel like if a tech building is abandoned, you don't go in it. Like that's just my perspective. Like there's a reason that building is abandoned. Because especially if you see a nice looking headset, clearly something went wrong why that headset still exists there and not anywhere else.
Nah, look, you sound like you're the type of bull to get trapped in a.
Boy, I'd wish your mic didn't just cut out.
Yeah.
Damn!
That probably was so funny.
Nah. I was just saying, like, you sound
you're
like
the
the
type
type
to
of.
get trapped in
Yeah,
the
it
circus.
wasn't that funny. Yeah, it was not. My bad. I appreciate the hype, but nah. What about Anthony and Monty? How y'all?
I think I could survive the circus
I could survive it, definitely.
for sure.
I didn't answer that question. Yeah, no, I'd love to be there.
Honestly, I would be so down to be in the circus.
I would-
I feel like
I
all
would
of these
wanna go
people are
out.
weak-willed, and they just need to just fucking get better. Skill
It
up.
could
that's
be
facts.
worse. They could have a much worse life.
Exactly.
But Kane could hate me. That's the worst.
That's terrifying.
No. I
But I
like
want
it.
you to
Awesome
know, but I
hanging out with Kane
survived,
all
yeah.
day.
Especially after finding out that there is a degree of if you play into the bit, then it will
Commit to the bit.
commit to the bit. Things work. That's the whole thing with Pomni shooting that bullet in episode 6, where she spins it around and just gets silly with it, and then it does what she wants.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, so this wouldn't be too bad. I might tweak because I don't got Overwatch. It might what's it called? I might get whatever them addicted people have. Like what's it called? Is that when you
Withdrawals?
Yeah, withdrawals. It might have a little bit of withdrawals, but like I'll get over it like a day or two, whatever.
I might
Oh,
go
wait.
crazy wondering how One Piece ends, but yeah, I could survive.
Honestly, I would go crazy not knowing how JoJo's end. That would suck.
Man, you
We
can
could
read
put
the
that in the
series.
suggestion box, and then we could live it.
Well, it would be a whatever Kane thinks
Live
JoJo's or
JoJo's.
One Piece is. He probably would just put he probably just like make a whole world of swimsuits, like One Piece swimsuits. Or
Well,
just,
what
like,
if he has like access to the internet in his robot
But he
brain?
doesn't, because
he doesn't?
that's the fun thing with the joke in the beginning of episode 7. That on the note he puts in.
He's like, I don't understand
That's true.
Chinese.
No, not that. His
Oh,
milk
well.
and cigarette casserole.
Oh, okay, I'll get that.
He's making
Well,
dad left to the store joke, but he doesn't know what people go to the store for. He doesn't know that it's a joke about dad leaving the kids and not coming back. He thinks they just go and get milk and cigarettes because they're coming back and they're going to do, I don't know, making the food.
The whole reason
Oh, I didn't even catch that one.
Yeah,
I did
was it-
not see that.
on the internet, Loki, because he turned to Ultron, and you don't want Ultron.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't even understand the concept of sex. When Zubul like straight up says like I want the ability to have sex, he just crashes out.
Yeah,
Like he,
That was
he
funny.
crashes.
I wonder how they made the AI for Kane, like just behind the story, like that's like world building wise. Because I feel like
Hopefully
Kane,
we'll find out.
like as an AI, he clearly doesn't have the internet behind him. That's how most AIs work. Because like the internet, he just had to learn. So did they just like base a program say what he should do, and based on people who are
Yeah.
trapped in it, they learn from that? I would guess, right?
Oh wait, doesn't he say when he's talking to Jax that when he wants to like learn the outside world, he said I wanted to, but they locked me out. He does say that. He says
he
they
really
locked
cut
me
me
out.
out. Too bad
they
they
cut me
cut
off.
me off.
So he does know something to do with the outside world.
There's a lot of small stuff. You just can't piece it all together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like having a puzzle with like missing the one piece you can't fully.
It's more
Kinda
than One
crazy.
Piece. Yeah.
Oh
more than
yeah,
One
it's like
Piece.
couple. That's couple. Yeah, true. He's a banana nut or whatever. However he explains his
Holding
his
hedges on the edges and not the inside of the puzzle, Loki.
yeah. He's like his descriptions are crazy.
Oh, I love the one he put, especially at the beginning of the note, because I searched up that one. What is it? My rubber baby bunky.
Rubber baby Bumby bunker. Damn it. I almost got it.
That's all you got to.
I think it's rubber baby bubber bunkers. I mess. It's the third one I'm messing up. I don't.
Yeah, I remember because I'm always so curious because he always just switches up what he calls them. So I searched up this one, and it was so funny. It's a song.
The baby bubble was.
Yeah, it's a song.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I don't know where Mewling Milkmaids come from, but I know that was like one of the biggest ones I took. There's one other one he calls them cantaloupes.
Well, I'm guessing based off because if you search up the song, I'm guessing when he's saying all that, it means what the song is talking about. It means nothing.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it to say it. It means nothing
I got you.
because this whole episode is kind of like on a meta narrative, right? It's making fun of people who make theories about the show.
Yeah, I mean when Michael Kovach's Jack's actor was dying laughing at the fact that he was right. Honestly, that felt like the graded were laughing at all the theorists that thought they knew exactly like what was going on, because a lot of things to do with episode 7, there were a lot of big theories, especially like the whole Abel thing. That was a big theory out right now. The whole Cain and Abel, all that stuff, that Kinger was a programmer, this and that like, oh, we need to find out who Abel is, and Abel's gonna help us get out, and like the mannequin is Abel. Like that was the whole thing. So like when like Jax is cracking up laughing at the fact that this is all fake, like to me, I was like, that was like a big, like I'm not, because even with it, Gooseworks and all of them said, and Michael Guvach said this on a what was it? It was like a video or something, like a recording or something like that. He said when he read what happens in episode 7, he loved it. He absolutely loved it. But he told his friend the concept and he hated it. And his biggest thing was saying that it was gonna split up the fandom when you get to see episode 7. Because it's like some people are gonna love it, some people are gonna hate it, which is true.
Some people won't like the joke.
Yeah. Which is fact. Oh, the fact that Kane sings Daisy outside of Zubul's room, I thought that was interesting. That's like the first song that plays. Like I thought that was a good attention to detail. I like that. That's like the first song that I messed it up. Like it's like the first song that a computer was like able to like hit up, and it was like Daisy Bell. And the fact that King sings outside the door. I was like, oh, that's interesting. That's dope. That's
That's why it's referred to as what Miku's grandfather, whatever. Because it's the
Yeah.
similar thing used for similar thing behind Hatsune Miku. So it's pretty cool.
good. No, I got you. Oh, I didn't even answer my. Oh, did I even answer the thing about the Digital Circus? Yeah, I would go in. I'll be vibing with it. Any closing statements for anybody?
Oh, anybody have any theories on the teapots?
Teapot theory. Ooh, okay. Machi, you take the wheel. 'Cause I have nothing about that.
It's nothing at this point. So in in episode 2.
Yeah.
Episode 2, when she's escaping with Gummy Goo, when she used the truck head-on collision to fly through it, and they're going through the map, and you see all the teapots.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what that is?
No.
Well, it's still coming back to the theory, teapot theory, basically, which is kind of a theory about like the burden of proof and all that, but it's also heavily related to like God. Just the idea of God. Like you're in this map that was made by God, which is essentially Cain.
Okay, I got you. All right. So nothing for anybody else, or All right then. I got you. Then honestly, last thing I would just say is that thank you viewers listening into our review of the Amazing Digital Circus. When the Amazing Circus is all finished, we're going to do another group review where we just talk about the entirety of the show together, how we felt about the ending and stuff like that. But that's gonna take a little bit because episode 8 drops on March 20th. We don't know when episode 9 is gonna be confirmed. We don't have a confirmed release date for episode 9, but we will keep y'all updated. We'll stay tuned. Let us know in the comments who your favorite character is, what was your favorite episode, and all that good stuff, and any theories you have. We love hearing from y'all. But this has been the Connoisseurs review of the Amazing Digital Circus. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye. Peace.
Peace.
Good evening, good afternoon, and enjoy the rest of your day.